To this meeting of the Monroe County Board of Commissioners. It is Wednesday, May 18th, and I will note for the record that Commissioner Jones is not present. Commissioner Githens and myself are here. And we'll start with our public statement. We, the Monroe County Board of Commissioners, renew our commitment to welcome and protect the rights of all people, regardless of age, race, color, creed, disability, sexual orientation, gender identity, marital status, economic status, and national origin. And we affirm the right of every person to live peacefully and without fear, and we will fight and resist at every step discrimination and harmful policies, whatever their source. We also stand in support of our county public school systems, both RBB and MCCSC. And with that, we will move on to our department updates. And we have Ms. Cottle here. Good morning.
Good morning. Thanks for having me again today. The increase in COVID-19 cases is continuing. Our local transmission is currently high, as is the state of Indiana. However, the good news is that severe disease, hospitalizations, and deaths does remain low. Our community level, our CDC community level, may move from low to medium this week due to that elevated transmission. Now, I say that with this caveat. We anticipated that we might move to medium last week, and we did not. But there is some lag time, and that can be tricky based on calculations. The CDC website is updated once a week on Thursdays. So we have been on the cusp of that 200 per 100,000 that determines whether or not you are low or medium, along with the hospitalizations. So we'll have to see tomorrow what comes down, whether we are just under that 200 and remain low, or whether we move to medium. The CDC recommendations between low and medium are really not very different. All of the levels encourage vaccination, staying up to date with your COVID vaccine, testing as you need to. So if you're symptomatic, we know right now a lot of the cases, people are not having much of any symptoms. So if you are a contact, please, if you're up to date with your vaccines and you are exposed, you don't have to quarantine, but you should be wearing a mask and test after 5 days of that exposure. So following those testing procedures is important. And then, the other is in medium. If you are at risk, talk to your healthcare provider about your specific healthcare issues, your health needs, and determine whether or not you need to wear a mask when you're in any public setting or certain public settings, and plan accordingly. The biggest driver for the CDC levels is hospitalizations. And currently, we're seeing a little bit of increases, but they are still really very stable and at a lower level. So the community levels are updated on Thursdays. We will see if we move to medium or if we stay in low status. But otherwise, just remember that we do know that there is a virus circulating. So take the necessary precautions to keep you and your family safe. In terms of testing, the FDA did release more at-home tests, so you can order more tests if you need them. You want to have them available to you. The FDA has also has a COVID test page that's very useful that you may want to check out. And I will put that, if I can, in the chat in a moment. Maybe we can share that. But it has good information about the types of tests that are out there, about shelf life. These tests, like food, expiration dates don't always mean that that's an automatic, it's no good anymore, right? And they can get extended and they have use beyond that expiration date. So this will tell you if some of those tests have had expiration dates that have been extended. So don't just throw them out. If you reach the expiration date on a test, double check it and see if it's still good to be used. And then they also have information about counterfeit tests. So it's sad to say that there are counterfeit tests that are out there. And this website will tell you what to look for and how to spot those. So again, I'll share that link, but it is fda.gov medical devices /coronavirus. So if you remember those things, you can find that. And then I also want to take a moment to remind people that staying up to date on all their vaccines is important. So double check, not just your COVID vaccine, but your Tdap, your children's MMRs, all those things, make sure that those are up to date. And a couple other news around vaccine is the FDA did change and limit the authorization for Johnson & Johnson vaccine based on the rare but potentially life-threatening blood clot issue. So it is now authorized for individuals 18 years of age and over who otherwise authorized for individuals 18 years of age and older for whom other authorized or approved COVID vaccines are not accessible or clinically appropriate, and for individuals 18 and older who elect to receive the Johnson & Johnson vaccine because they would not otherwise receive a COVID vaccine. So it's still available, it still can be used, but you should talk to your provider about your risks. Again, the risk of those blood clots is rare, but people should be aware of that. In other news, the FDA did amend the EUA for Pfizer and authorizing the use of a single booster for individuals 5 to 11 years of age, at least 5 months after they complete their primary series of Pfizer vaccine. Now, the next steps for that is the CDC will review that. They'll need to approve it and put out directions for that. And keep in mind that I know the news is saying this could be available by Friday, but just remember that a clinic needs to have the appropriate vaccine. So it may not be available in the clinic closest to you as soon as it may be approved, but looks like that will be coming soon. And then the FDA has several other meetings scheduled in June to look at various requests and data that's been submitted around vaccinations. In terms of variants internationally, they are monitoring some sublineages of the Omicron variant BA4 and BA5. Those are increasing in Europe, but we are not seeing much activity in those in the US at this time. So far, it does look again to be easier to transmit, but so far not a lot of higher hospitalizations, but those are new and we're watching those closely. So stay tuned on that. Lastly, I just want to thank you for the Medical Reserve Corps proclamation last week. We're very amazed by the hours and dedication of that crew, and they truly appreciated your acknowledgement. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Ms. Cottle. And let's see if there are any comments or questions from Commissioner Githens.
Yes, on the front page of today's local paper, they gave not only the infection rate locally, but the fact that there had been a local death over the past week. And so it's still out there. We have to be aware of this.
Absolutely.
So please take precautions and get vaccinated.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you so much, Ms. Cottle. We appreciate you and we appreciate the updated information. It's great to have that. Thank you. All right, it looks like we have a department update from Mr. Laverty at the airport. Good morning.
Good morning. Good morning. I believe I was here with you all last week and briefing you a little bit on the airport lighting project on our main runway. And I didn't have any dates at that time, but as of yesterday morning, we have some pretty solid dates for the different phases of the project. And I promised I'd come back because 2 of those phases present our closures of our main runway at the airport. And that'll be of a significant interest to some of our users in the community. So I wanted to make sure I get the word out there. So Well, we've already begun phase one, which is the construction of our electrical vault. But phase two, which includes a main runway closure during the daytime, will go from May 31st until June 18th. Then phases 3 and 4 continue, but they'll be on taxiways, which won't affect either of our 2 runways. But then phase 5, which is another runway closure of our main runway, will commence August 23rd and run through September 14th. These are really, there's nothing we can do about that. The nature of the work on the runway requires that we close that surface, but our crosswind runway, which is 3,800 feet long, will remain open during these closures, so we're not completely closed. We just won't be able to receive some of the heavier traffic that we do. The good news also is that we will do that second closure beginning August 23rd, which will be what we think will be after move-in week. Move-in week for IU, we see a lot of activity leading up to the beginning of classes. We're gonna skip that, but we may affect some of the football teams coming or going. But we're working with those universities and their charter companies to ensure that they can get into the community, or if IU has to leave, we're working with them as well. But I just want to make sure I got those dates out for those 2 runway closures to the commissioners.
All right, thank you so much, Mr. Laverty. Comments, questions, Commissioner Githens?
No.
I don't either. Thank you for the update. We really appreciate it. Thanks.
Thank you.
All right. Any other departments wish to offer an update this morning? Raise your hand on the Zoom screen or come up to the podium in the NetU Hill room. Seeing none, we'll come back for our next item, which is public comment. This is an opportunity for the public to comment on items that are not on our agenda. You either raise your hand in the Zoom screen or come to the podium in NetU Hill room. You will have 3 minutes to speak. At 2 minutes and 30 seconds, you will hear a tone. And when you hear that tone, that means you have 30 seconds to wrap up your statement. This tone is also used on our regular agenda items as well to note the 2-minute 30 mark. Let's see if there's anyone here that has items for comment that are not on our agenda. Okay, seeing none, we'll move on to item 5, please.
Move approval of the minutes from May 11th, 2022.
Second. All right, any comments, questions, edits? Okay, I don't either. So with that, all those in favor of approving the minutes for May 11th, 2022 signify by saying aye. Aye. Motion carries 2-0. Next item, please.
Move approval of claims docket, accounts payable May 18th, 2022, and payroll May 20th, 2022.
I will second that, and we have Mr. Miller here to tell us all about it. Good morning.
Good morning. The total for claims was $2,444,756.04. $525,257.87 was for South Central Indiana REMC for utility relocation construction for Sample Road phases 1 and 2. $399,963.54 was for Anthem Inc., primarily for May claims. $337,361.78 was for food and beverage tax distribution for the month of April. $242,790.83 was for the city of Bloomington for the public safety answering point local income tax distribution for central dispatch for the month of May. $161,305 was for Monroe County Community to purchase the right-of-way parcel for Fullerton Pike Phase 3. And finally, for the large expense items exceeding $100,000, $104,656 was for Life Designs for the 2022 Q1 payment. Moving on to payroll, the total was $1,752,705.75. $1,237,491.87 were for the main supplemental and incentive payrolls, and the remaining $515,213.88 were for the pay-related claims, primarily taxes and retirement.
Excellent. Thank you so much. Comments, questions, Commissioner Githens?
That was quite a summary.
Very good. Excellent. All right. Let's see if there's any public comment on this item. Either come to the podium in the Nat U Hill Room or raise your hand on the Zoom screen. Okay, seeing none, we'll come back for a vote. All those in favor of approving the claims docket, accounts payable May 18th, 2022, and payroll May 20th, 2022, signify by saying aye. Aye. Motion carries 2-0.
Thank you.
Thank you. Now we'll move on to new business, please.
Move approval of Duke Energy Foundation Grant for Emergency Management, Fund Name County General / Radio and CD Sirens, Fund Number 1000-35050-0361, grant amount $5,000.
I will second that. And we have Mr. Baker joining us this morning via Zoom. Good morning. Tell us all about it.
Good morning. Thank you for having me this morning. Okay, so last month, the Emergency Management Department applied for a grant with Duke Energy Foundation, and we were accepted after the process. And we received $5,000 total for the grant. And this will go towards our county outdoor warning system, the tornado sirens, to help with any cost to replace or to fix any issues that we may have.
All right. Thank you so much, Mr. Baker. Comments, questions, Commissioner Githens?
No, I'm glad we got this extra money.
Yeah, it's
Me too.
wonderful. Yeah, so the last couple of days, there's been an emergency alert that's gone out about sirens running at different times to check for repairs. So can you tell us if that's going to continue?
Yes, the LIRS, which is our maintenance vendor, and myself has been going out and checking on the sirens, doing a temperature check, kind of see it. We rotate them and do a quiet test. So that'll be going on. We did that Monday and Tuesday. Be doing that depending on the weather, pretty much. If it's raining and stormy, we're not going to be checking on the sirens. But yes, that'll be going on several weeks probably, because our goal is to get all 40 of them.
Excellent. Great. Well, that's good news. It's great to check that out. Thank you so much. Appreciate that.
Thank you.
All right. Let's see if there's any comments from the public on this item. Either come to the podium or raise your hand on the Zoom screen. Seeing none, we'll come back to the board for a vote. All those in favor of approving the Duke Energy Foundation grant for emergency management for sirens signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries 2-0. And we'll move on to our next item, please.
Move approval of Alliance Security, Inc. Memorandum of Understanding, Fund Name Lit, Special Purpose and Public Safety Lit, Fund Number 1114-32107-0273 and 1170-30151-0226. Grant amount $10,000 from Lit Special Purpose Fund Number 1114 and $10,560 from Public Safety Lit Fund Number 1170 for a combined total of $20,560.
I will second that. And we have Ms. Brady joining us online. Good morning.
Good morning, Commissioners. Thank you for hearing our agenda item. This is a real simple renewal of a MOU that we have with Alliance Security, the other ASI that we contract with. Alliance Security provides Indiana State Troopers who are off duty to perform security at the Community Corrections Office between 7 a.m. and 9 a.m. during our heavy day reporting session, Monday through Friday. And this has been going on since 2014. The contract or the MOU that they've sent is basically the same as it's always been. There's no increase in hours. There's no increase for the amount. They charge $35 an hour, and that hasn't changed since 2014. So that's it.
All right. Thank you so much. Comments, questions, Commissioner Githens?
I'm pleased that they're able to come up with something like this.
Yeah, it's a good program. It's a good idea, and we appreciate their service. And this runs through, this is 12 months, correct? Oh, there it is.
Well, we've actually, it's interesting you bring this up. I believe we've only had it signed one time in 2014. So it's one of those with 30 days notice either way. We can end it if either party wants to end it with 30 days. So I don't know if they want to now start signing this annually. I'm not really sure why we got this, but Molly with County Attorney's Office has been the one dealing with this contract with them. And when I read it and I saw no changes, I thought, well, that's really a good thing. I also asked them, would there be a change in how much they're going to charge us per hour for the next year, for 2023, since we're getting ready for the 2023 budget? And they said no, that they didn't have any plans to increase, which again, a good thing. So as far as I know, it's just a contract that continues unless one or the other party ends it with 30 days notice.
Okay. Okay, thank you so much. It does say, you might want to check with legal. It does say item J, it says this agreement shall terminate 12 months following its execution unless it's terminated earlier by either party.
Oh, got it. Okay, so maybe the intent now is for them to do it every year. So
Okay.
then I'll have to add it to my calendar and try to
Add it to your list.
add it to my list. Yeah.
Sounds good. Excellent. Thank you so much. All right. Let's see if there's any public comment on this item. Let's come to the podium or in the NetU Hill room or raise your hand on the Zoom screen. And it looks like we don't have any commenters. So with that, all those in favor of approving the memorandum of understanding with Alliance Security, Inc. signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries 2-0. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Appreciate it.
And we move on to item C, please.
Move approval of a request to approve contract with Effect TV, formerly Comcast, for Safe Place Program Outreach, Fund Name, Runaway and Homeless Youth Professional Services, Fund Number 8120-30013, in an amount of $5,000.
I will second that. And we have Ms. Nasby here to tell us all about it. Good morning.
Good morning, Commissioners. Again, I am Bridget Nasby, the Shelter Outreach and Safe Place Coordinator over at Youth Services Bureau. The Comcast contract allows us to educate youth and adults about Safe Place, where kids can go get help within a crisis while they watch their favorite shows at home. It's a pretty cool thing that we do. And so these commercials are aired, on different channels that specifically target families with youth in our age bracket. And we've moved more towards an online campaign. So we're not only doing just commercials on TV, but you'll actually see them on the digital space as well. So when they're streaming their favorite shows on computers and tablets and phones and so on and so forth, and what those tech savvy children do. So we're really excited again to continue this partnership. We're looking at about 78,946 impressions over this campaign. It starts May 30th and runs through about mid-August. So that's what we have today.
Thank you so much. Comments, questions, Commissioner Githens?
So this is basically running during the time when students are not in school.
Exactly. This is one of the things we do to kind of get that education out in the summer when I'm not going to schools, when kids aren't at school, just so they know Safe Place is still there. They still see that sign. It still means the same thing, whether it's at school or whether it's on Pizza X or it's on another place that they see in town.
Excellent. Thank you so much, Ms. Nasby. Let's see if there's any public comment, either here in the NetU Hill room or raise your hand on the Zoom screen. Seeing none, we'll come back for a vote. All those in favor of approving the contract with Effect TV for Safe Place Program Outreach signify by saying aye. Aye. Motion carries 2-0. Thank you.
Thank you.
Next item, please.
Move approval of Butler Fairman Seifert Inc. Supplemental Number 1, Fund Name 2020 GO Bond Capital Projects, Fund Number 4813, in an amount of $84,500.
I will second that, and we have Ms. Ridge here to tell us all about it. Good morning.
Good morning. This is for additional services for the Liberty Drive extension to our Karst Farm Greenway. The original alignment that we looked at when the project originated was more to the north. We had a meeting with the property owner there, and the future of that property is kind of unknown. So we actually reached out to a property owner farther south that's very supportive of the project and interested in the alignment of it. So we have suggested moving the alignment of the project farther south to that southern property line. So this is for the additional services to be able to do that to where it would have less impact on some property owners.
Excellent. Thank you so much. Comments, questions, Commissioner Githens?
I'm glad you were able to work with residents that way.
Yeah, it worked out well to do it in the beginning before we started actual right-of-way acquisition to see kind of where we were headed. Sometimes if you have additional design costs such as this, it can save on future issues with right-of-way acquisition that can become more costly.
All right. Thank you so much. Let's see if there's any public comment on this item. Raise your hand on the Zoom screen or come to the podium in the Nat U Hill room. Seeing none, we'll come back for a vote. All those in favor of approving the Butler Fairman Seifert Inc. Supplemental Number 1 signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries 2-0. All right. Next item, please.
Move approval of change order number 3 for E&B Paving LLC, Karst Farm Greenway South Segment, Fund Name Next Level Trails, Fund Number 9107-30006-0000, in an amount, an increase of $58,329.30.
I will second that. And we have Mr. Robertson here from the Parks Department. Good morning.
Yes, good morning. So this change order, it's for the Karst Farm Greenway, the Next Level Trails project. As you can see, there are several things included in the change order. So there's the replacement of a culvert. We're adding some safety railing, some additional farm fence, a farm gate, and then we are changing some of the cement stabilization. It's all pretty straightforward. What I can say is that the Department of Natural Resources and the highway engineer have both reviewed the change order and approved, which is important to us. But by all means, if you have any additional questions, I'm happy to answer.
Excellent. Thank you. Comments, questions, Commissioner Githens?
I'm just looking forward to when this is done.
I know.
It's close. I was out there for the first time.
Excellent. Thank you.
In a while, yeah.
All right, let's see if there's any public comment on this item. Either come to the podium or raise your hand on the Zoom screen. Seeing none, we'll come back for a vote. All those in favor of approving change order number 3 for E&B Paving, Karst Farm Greenway South Segment, signify by saying aye. Aye. Motion carries 2-0. Thank you.
Thanks.
All right, and next item, please.
Move approval of a contract between Monroe County Board of Commissioners and Fleming Interior Group. Fund Name 2018 GO Bond Projects, Fund Number 4811, in an amount of $106,515.94.
I will second that, and we have Ms. Purdy here to tell us all about it.
Yeah, this is the continuation of our relocation of our highway department. And this is going to allow them to actually have some new furniture, something I don't think they've ever had, maybe. So yeah, this is just kind of a housekeeping project, but helping us to move them out to the actual highway garage area.
Excellent. Comments, questions, Commissioner Githens?
Is this a reward for having Ms. Ridge stay with the department so long?
Probably.
Well, at this rate, for sure.
Yeah, for sure. So what are we looking at timeline wise for this, the move-in?
So by getting this approved, we're able to get the furniture ordered. I believe it's approximately an 8-week turnaround to have that back, but it fits into the timeline around middle of July. Our target date is to move in around the 1st of August. They're actually, the construction company has moved along great. They're actually painting at this point.
Nice.
All the walls are set and yeah, it's amazing. So it's looking great. It looks so different. We were out there years ago in one great big room, no walls. So seeing it this way is completely different than what it originated at. So we're looking around the 1st of August. The new windows will be delivered tomorrow that had to be replaced actually for the whole building from when it was built back in the 80s, I believe, 85, 86 maybe. No, it would have been 95. I was here in 87. So around 1995, I think it was built. So yeah, it's wonderful. So we really appreciate the funding that's been used to make this happen.
Yeah, those offices are going to be very nice and glad that.
Yeah,
can-
and we modeled them a lot from emergency management, went and did a tour of their facilities and also with the health department. So we kind of mimicked a lot of their ideas. So
Excellent. That's great news. And we're looking forward to a tour in August.
absolutely.
That would be great. Excellent. All right. Let's see if there's any public comment on this item. Either come to the podium or raise your hand on the Zoom screen. Seeing none, we'll come back for a vote. All those in favor of approving the contract between Monroe County Board of Commissioners and Fleming Interior Group signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Motion carries 2-0. All right, next item.
Move approval of the contract between Monroe County Board of Commissioners and Matrix Integration, Fund Name 2018 Geo Bond Projects, Fund Number 4811, in an amount of $11,022.35.
I will second that. Ms. Birdie, tell us all about this one.
This is also directly related to the movement of highway out to our highway garage. And this is just going to provide for the installation of the cabling for the computer systems.
Excellent. Thank you. Comments, questions, Commissioner Gibbons?
No, but I assume this will also be done before early August. So
Oh, it's gonna.
Let's hope so. I would hate to move them in without any internet. That would- Yeah, how would that happen? Yes. All right. Glad to see this is progressing, and let's see if there's any public comment on this item. Either come to the podium or raise your hand on the Zoom screen. Seeing none, we'll come back for a vote. All those in favor of approving the contract between the Monroe County Board of Commissioners and Matrix Integration signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Motion carries 2-0. We don't have any appointments today, but we do have some announcements, and I'm going to put Ms. Ridge on the spot and ask her to talk about the May 25th meeting.
Okay.
Thanks.
Absolutely. So May 25th at 5:30, we will be having a public meeting here in the Nat U Hill Room, 5:30 to 7. And the topic for this is for Rogers Street options for sidewalk/trail to get to the school and the library from Country Club Drive. So we encourage the public to come. We'll have maps, web presentations from our consultant, just different options. We want to bring the public in and get them involved at the beginning of the scope of this goal that we have to improve for alternative transportation in that area. So
Great. Thank you so much.
it'll also be available via Zoom,
Yes.
also for people that can't attend in person.
Excellent. Thank you so much. We're looking forward to it. So we do hope the public comes out and gives us their ideas. Also, just to note that we are accepting applications for boards and commissions. Please go to co.monroe.in.us and look around to see what's available, to learn more about the boards and commissions, and to apply. The blood drives continue. The next one is Monday, June 27th, 10 to 3, Thursday, June 30th, 1 to 6. These are at Ivy Tech. Go to redcross.org to make your appointment. Fresh Food Friday. The next one at Hoosier Hills Food Bank is May 27th. You can call them at 812-334-8374 for more information. And we also want to remind the community that we do offer office hours where you can meet with one of the three of us via Zoom. And we offer 6 different times and days each month. So go to co.monroe.in.us and take a look at the calendar and you will see our office hours listed. You'll be put in the waiting room. There's really old magazines there and then water cooler, you know, but we'll bring you in as soon as we finish with our last conversation. So with that, we do have a work session. I'm wondering if we could come back at 11 a.m. for the work session.
Sure, and I was going to ask TSD if they could put the chat back up on the screen that had the link that Ms. Cottle had given us. I also want to commend Ms. Ridge for having this public meeting about the sidewalk path along South Rogers Street. We had a lot of input on the Fullerton Pike things from the public, and I think that's a really wonderful service to our residents.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Absolutely.
We learn a lot from the residents, those who are in the area or, you know, have children who walk to school or the new library is opening. This is all going to be really important. So it'll be great to get their creative feedback.
I think it's a good public safety move.
Oh, absolutely. Excellent. Okay. So with that, we are adjourned and we will come back at 11 a.m. for our work session. Thanks, everyone.